Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time. So I'm here in the Boogie Down Bronx, Grand Concourse to be exact. And when the movie Fist of Fury came out, known as The Big Boss, I saw it in that movie theater right there, or that place that used to be movie theater. It says 99-cent store. And that's crazy when I think about it, because that was probably like 1971 or 2, right? On the Grand Concourse, I saw a movie at the Lowest Paradise, which was called Five Fingers of Death, which is crazy. So I'm walking through the neighborhood, again, right there where it says 99-cent store. That was where where this used to be an actual movie theater, the Kent movie theater, in 167. And I'm gonna walk down towards where I saw my first karate school in 165th Street. The neighborhood has changed a bit. The difference is the accents. Now all of a sudden there's a lot more Mexicans and Africans, where back then predominantly the minorities were Puerto Rican. And now they're Spanish people become Dominican, the majority of them. Again, that makes me no damn difference, but just being factual. So this is the side of the movie theater. And why am I doing this on Mother's Day? Just finished walking my cousin home. And New Yorkers walk, right? We walk. So we multitask and we walk fast. So I'm walking down Sheridan Avenue, where I used to live. And I'm gonna walk right past a movie theater, where there was a martial arts school. And someone has to really help me with this. And I apologize, I don't know his mother's name. But Monroe Marrow, I believe, had the school in the 165th Street, where I'm walking towards right now. And anyone who knows who he is, I forget his present name, but if you can confirm that, that'll be great. Because this is part of martial arts history in New York City. At least the Bronx, I should say. But I can't say this. Again, I don't remember his mother's name, but Mr. Monroe Marrow, he had students like, again, all these guys are legends, like Lamar Thornton, like Earl Bennett. Earl Bennett had a partner, I forgot his first name, but he was known as Savage. And today we know him as Abdul Matakabir. Oh, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that close enough. But these were the martial arts legends that were all trained by the same guy. He was teaching Shotokan. I'm not sure who his instructor was. Actually, we'd love to interview him. But when we moved from Spanish Harlem in 1971 to the Bronx, the world was different, you know. They had a lot of gangs in New York City, in Manhattan, but the gangs here in the Bronx were slightly different. They had from adults, like the Savage Skulls and the Savage Nomads, to younger guys, and they called them the Young Skulls, Young Nomads, or I guess the teenagers. And then there was also teens, preteens. Now look at this piece of real estate. See that? Freaking incredible. I mean, some of these apartments have sunken living rooms and really, really big, beautiful places. And it went through a major change. When we first moved here, we were the first one of 3 families that were Latino in our building, and after a few years, it became predominantly that. So we're next to PS 90, right there, which is between 166 and 167 in Sheridan Avenue. Sheridan Avenue, by the way, was where we grew up. The Unstoppable Crew with DJ Louie Lou and MC T. La Rock, MC Thunder Rock, Eddie D, Sugar Ray, just a whole bunch of freaking people. Last year we had a 40th anniversary, and it turned out to be kind of crazy because the cops rolled up because we didn't have pretty much a certificate, a license for the day to congregate. So here's the schoolyards. Schoolyards were always big. The majority of these schoolyards is where music will be played with DJs, and those were the original days of hip hop in the park. So every park you know, you would get the power from the street light, as Kara once said, and then roll it, or maybe roll the power from somebody's house, and take out the DJ equipment and have a jam. Now, I was brought up in two cultures. First culture was martial arts, and second culture was hip hop. Actually, I'm gonna add a third culture. I'm also a Latin from Manhattan, so because of that, I always did things with a different type of mindset. So, for example, at age 16, I was gonna be a father, so I took martial arts tournaments as an opportunity for me to earn income without getting in trouble. So instead of robbing somebody in the street, which I never did, I robbed people in tournaments by kicking their butt. And what was crazy was that, well, this is a sad thing. So if you see, in memory, it says 10 cent. So I guess there was 50 cent, that's 10 cent. He died in 2000, and he was born in 1982. So that guy was only, 28 years old, if that's right. Yeah, life is rough in the Bronx, and hip-hop started here. But getting back to what I was saying, I grew up in a neighborhood that was extremely violent, and you had to be really good at fighting just to be respected. So, hey Rob, Carlos, ¿cómo estamos? Díaz, Nazario. I'm back in the Bronx, just doing a little tour of how martial arts and hip-hop intertwined, and I was able to become a martial arts champion. So, right here, we're in the corner of 165th Street. The next block behind me, as you saw, is the Grand Concourse. That big high-rise building is known as Executive Towers. I'm gonna walk down the block to a place where when we first moved here in 1971, I was looking for a karate school. At the time, the schools that were around were Jerome Mackey. At Jerome Mackey, they had actually commercials on TV. I never had a chance to join that school, but again, 1971, I'm 5 years old, and I wanted to join karate, and there was a school that was right next to this supermarket. Now, this building didn't exist at the time. There's been two buildings since then. But I remember that there was a school right here in the corner of Sherman Avenue. What's going on? Well, Fontanez. So right over here, if you see, that's where there was a school that I believe Monroe Marrow had. And I'm crossing the street here, 165th Street. And I'm walking towards the neighborhood that I grew up in. I grew up in Sheridan Avenue in the Boogie Down Bronx from 1971 to 1980. We lived there, and then we moved to other spots, which you see that. Now, what am I shooting this like this for, guys? This is gonna end up being inserts for a documentary. Hey, Paul Knight, Steve Levi, by God, how you guys doing? All right, so you guys know Queens in the house, Long Island in the house, and a few other people. Let's see here. And I apologize, but I'm just trying to, I'll take this video, guys, and I'll edit it, and then I'll use that as inserts for a documentary that I'm shooting. If your life is worth living, it's worth recording, and somebody has to be the patriarch of your family. Years ago, I realized that had to be me because nobody was running to tell my story. And it's a pretty interesting story because it's an against all odds story, and the story's not finished. It just begun, just begun. Jack Singh, how you doing? So I have people here that are watching from multiple boroughs. Please bear with me. I'm gonna show you where I first started teaching my first karate lessons. I'm going up. Now this building that's right here, actually let me cross the street so you guys can see it. It's a really big building with multiple apartments. That years ago used to be abandoned. And inside there was an abandoned building. It was an abandoned building, and my friends used to actually live in some of the abandoned apartments during the summertime. And if you look at it, it's almost like a fortress now, just to get in. See, 215. Behind me, at a distance, is 166, which is the school that I went to, Roberto Clemente. So I'm walking over to the corner of 164th and Sheridan, where I grew up, coming from 119 between 2nd and 3rd in Spanish Harlem. Now, as you can see, these buildings are being refaced, and the apartments are being renovated. See that? And it's interesting because they're getting ready to get rid of people here. Same thing that happened in Brooklyn is going to happen over here. Now, you can't really see it much because not a lot of the sidewalk left because they've been putting tar throughout the years. But right there, this little mark, this area, we used to play a game called Off the Curb. Off the Curb was one of the ball games that a lot of people actually, a sport dean in the war, and we were able to play games. Off the point, off the curb. So that was off the curb. Off the point was here, and over that line, over there was the actual home run. There's another big building, 1011. 1011 is where we used to have a, not we, it was called the Lion's Cave, I believe, or the Lion's Den, one of those two. And that's where the block, the Unstoppable Crew, actually had their own little club, playing music with DJ Louie Lou. And this building here, which is 984, is where I started teaching my first martial arts lessons. Now, I don't know how or why, but I guess it's because the rent's going too crazy, but right there in that corner, it says for rent. That was a bodega. It's a bodega now, meaning a grocery store. And that used to be open up until last year, so I'm not sure what's the deal with that. And here it is. This is where I grew up, guys. This is the actual building. It's called Roxy's Mansion in 164th and Sheridan Avenue. Again, the first time I started teaching martial arts, just for a few weeks, was in the basement down there. And my brother passed away, as you guys know, and one of the ways to pay homage to people who die is to actually do a mural on the walls. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it because it feels like it's closed. Wow, maybe, maybe not. You guys tell me if you can. But right here, behind this wall, is a mural, and if you can see it, I'm not sure if you guys can, but there it is. You see it says Baby Louie, 2017. That's for my actual brother. I'm gonna turn this and make it higher and see if you guys can see it. Hopefully you can see it. There on the wall is a memorial for my brother, Baby Louie. So it's interesting because that's one of the biggest, most respectful things that you can do, which is a memorial right here in the 164th and Sheridan Avenue. Now, the reason it's back there in the alley is so like that nobody messes with it. My brother was pretty legendary. He was on a record label. He was a successful rapper and one of the most talented people I ever met in my entire life. So again, I'm walking through the Bronx, just doing some memory lane stuff. I showed where I initially started teaching martial arts, and this is all going to be part of a future documentary. Guys, listen, I suggest you start remembering the history of your family because nobody else is going to do it. This parking lot right here used to be an abandoned building where Chocolate used to fry birds. This building here was also abandoned, and we used to jump from one roof to the other, which is insane when you think about it, but that's the way we used to have fun. Now I'm walking towards an area where if you look at it right now, you're gonna say it looks pretty nice, but since this neighborhood still hasn't been regentrified, they're not actually ready to rent this, but you can see they're doing preparations already, because to me, that looks like some really nice piece of real estate. See, retail space available, and none of it is actually rented yet. And the reason it's not rented yet, guys, is that you're not gonna believe. Rest in peace, thank you, John. The reason why it's not rented yet is because, actually it is, look, some of them are rented to attorneys. So something like this, you would think is in the Bronx, it won't be expensive to rent. But I'm sure they probably want like $50 a square foot or some nonsense. I went to a place not too far from here, near Yankee Stadium, and they wanted $100 a square foot. And this is still considered, the ghetto. Now, on a Sunday, you still hear loud music. Hear that? And they used to be Puerto Ricans, but now they're Dominicans, like I said. But here you go. See the bondsmen, law officers, the courtside deli. Right over here, we're gonna walk right past a place that my friends used to go to pretty often, which was family court and just court in general. Again, this is just information and inserts of what will be for documentary. And the reason I'm shooting is because nobody else is gonna do it. So you saw that bail bondsman over there. There's another bail bondsman here, another law office, and up there you even see more. So this is considered like a downtown. A lot of times when you see stories of you in New York City and something happens, like that junior that died last year, where they murdered him, which was insane, broke my heart. But this is where you would see all the TV stations recording things. So in spite of the fact that I grew up in this neighborhood, I mind my business. I didn't care. That's the family code, like I said. I didn't care that my friends were doing things that weren't legal, because I was focused on becoming the Puerto Rican Bruce Lee. Come up to 161st in the concourse. Are you there, Jimmy? Hey, is that Blake? I'm gonna walk up right now. So I'm getting a shout out from one of my peoples. If it is Blake, that's one of my, I consider my big brothers in the industry. It's not in the industry, in the block. So he says he'll walk up there. But over there, as you can see, the courthouses and so on and so forth. So Jimmy asked me to come up to the corner, and I believe that's Blake. Again, another bail bondsman. The interesting thing is that right now, oh, here's Blake. Okay, I'll be there in a second. You see where I'm at. So we're walking over to the Grand Concourse from the Yankee Stadium standpoint, and right across the street, you're gonna see the courthouse. Not just the courthouse, it's the federal courthouse. It's the Supreme Court that's been seen in so many movies and TV shows like Law and Order and so on and so forth. We'll go to the steps in a few minutes. But across the street from the Grand Concourse Hotel, what was it called? I don't remember the name of the hotel, but this is where the visitors from the New York Yankees, when they played with them, used to come literally and stay there. So you're outside, hopefully we can see you. So this is a historical spot. Just standing on 161st in Grand Concourse is huge because so much history. I mean, you can hear the ball crack, the back crack when they hit home runs. So the Grand Concourse Senior Citizen Council, right, this building here was a hotel. See that? That was a hotel where all of the Yankees, the visiting team of the Yankees, actually used to stay. And then behind me, again, that's the courthouse. And right there, in the movie Serpico, Al Pacino did a deal right there in the park. So now, I'm not sure where Jimmy Blake is at. He's outside. Are you on this side or that side? Let me walk over a little here, because maybe I'll find them. But again, guys, doing some video shooting for what will be a documentary in the near future. It's called Fast Feet Facts. Hashtag Fast Feet Facts. So this place here, I believe it's a senior citizen place now, maybe, because it says no trespassing. Oh, the Concourse Plaza, that's what it was. So the same way you had the Plaza Hotel in the Bronx, in New York, in Manhattan, you also have the Concourse Plaza. Oh, he's at 860, okay. So, he's across the street. So 860, these buildings, believe it or not, guys, are still doorman buildings. And there's a good possibility that Jimmy's one of those doormen, because he's a guy, man, I'm so proud of him, man. My big brother, Jimmy Blake, against all odds, is still here, 2019 and counting. He's a grandfather, maybe great-grandfather, and I think I see him right now. So again, here you got, look at this view, guys. Look at this view. And at a distance, you see Yankee Stadium. We'll take that little walk right now. You know, this is where so many talented people never had a chance to leverage themselves. Again, look at these buildings being renovated. And here he is. I got my man live and direct from the Boogie Down Bronx, Mr. Jimmy Blake Montalvo. And we're talking about real love, I'm talking about there. Man, so here we go. So you working as a doorman.
This is where your brother.
My brother was gonna get the job here.
I got it.
And you was hooking him up. And then when he passed away, they gave it. Oh my God! Do you hear that, guys? And I just went.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. My brother, rest in peace. Like all of us, we all have, different walks. And I'm not God, so I can't make excuses for what's happened. But I can say that we count our blessings being alive. So what we just heard was that my brother, Louis, baby Louis, MC Beretta, the Ronan, Instructor Torres, actually was the gentleman who was getting this job, and they ended up going to a real good person, my brother from another mother. So here we go, 860. And they still, in 2019, who would expect that in the Bronx, you actually have doorman buildings? People don't realize that. It never stopped. It never stopped. But the people who live here, I'm sure there's some powerful people.
A lot.
You can tell by the Christmas presents. You can always do the right thing by the Christmas present, because without the doorman, you may not get your package that quick, or you might get. She's doing wonderful. So what I'm doing is, I walked all the way from. I almost went to Taft.
How you doing, Mom?
See, here we go. See. All right, so let's just backtrack for a second. Oh, by the way, real quick, guys, you see that bus? The #1 bus? I used to take that bus from 165th in the corner all the way to Tiger Camps to take my martial arts lessons. And then at nighttime we used to meet. I went to the corner and we were playing off the curb. There's not too much curb left.
I know. I was over there with my grandson.
Right.
And he said, "Y'all played here?"
Yeah, but it used to be a little lower. But back then we had more curves. Yeah, that could be. But the crazy thing about it is that I remember being on the Philly team. Sugar Ray put me on the Philly team, and I was the first baseman, and I felt incredible because I was like 11 or 12 years old. But since I could do the split and catch the ball,
the first base thing, yeah, we had fun.
But I'm saying, the people who played with us, whether it was baseball, or football, or whatever, the third place guys were like Sunman, Baby Huey, of the block.
Yeah, but still,
they were phenomenal.
They were still good.
Phenomenal.
Still good.
And so our neighborhood has so much talent. As a matter of fact, of the block, yeah, rest in peace, Malik Sealy was there up the block. Yeah. So between. Just on and on and on. But I look at this area and it's changing quite a bit, and I think they're gonna get rid of a whole bunch of people.
They coming up.
Yeah, but I don't blame them, because how much more history can you get?
No more.
The Concourse.
We are history.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Concourse Plaza used to be where all the Yankees used to stay at, right?
I hate that.
Yeah.
You know we have something coming up, right? In August 10th.
Well, hopefully the cops won't come this time, right?
No, it's gonna be in the mansion.
Jesus Christ, it's about time.
It's in the mansion.
So August 10th, you guys know where I'm gonna be at. That means. August 10th of this year, I shall be there. Last year, we ended up having, they came and apologized a few times over after they did that nonsense, but that wasn't right.
No.
It wasn't justified.
I was home already at that time.
Yeah. Well, I was on my way leaving anyway, but it was sad. They rolled up on a bunch of people. So guys, now one thing that's incredible that you guys may not realize, I'm not going to take the walk today, but just so you know, this also happens to be right now, not just the Grand Concourse, but they made this into a walk right now. And if you go to 153rd, there's two groups that came from the Bronx. So people that were born in the Bronx, on both sides, they call these things the street number plus the name of somebody else. Yeah. So Dr. Roof, I didn't know was from the Bronx.
I found out that too.
But the interesting part about it is that not only does they have Dr. Roof Street or whatever it is, a war, but it's also Rocksteady Crew one, right?
Rocksteady Crew.
At the same street.
And then you got One City Crew down the block.
The One City Creek, I think Lil Pete, Lil Pete do the b-boy. They used to have the brown and the yellow. Come on, exactly.
We had the best one. Yeah, we had the best one.
Well, it's so crazy because from right here, guys, as you can see, not only do you see the famous Supreme Court that they've used those stairs, I don't know how many times for every show, and then over there, in the movie Serpico, Al Pacino was right there doing the deal. And of course, there's the second Yankee Stadium that used to be McCoon's Dam Park. And then you have, well, this is a Mets fan, guys, by the way.
That's
so,
right.
Just to let you know that we don't forget that he's been, him, I think, and Sugar Ray, both Mets fans.
Mets fans, yeah, that's right. We are Mets fans.
Which wasn't too popular in our block, but they didn't give a damn.
He don't care. And we still a fans too. That's right. But August 10th.
I'm here.
It's Harlem World against the Bronx.
Uh-oh.
And a reunion of Unstoppable Crew.
Here you go. You hear that, guys?
So come and get your tickets.
Hey, I'll be there. Now, on top of that, guys, just so you know, 2 years ago when my brother passed, right here on these steps, my friend Al Pizarro and Tony Tone from the Cold Crush 4 and a few other people, when they got their proclamation, because they were the ones that actually put the petitions to make the Hip Hop Boulevard actually happen. The Bronx Borough president made a mistake because this lady who was fronting, some congresswoman that's opening up some hip hop museum, when they got credit for it. But they gave the proclamation here, right here on the steps. The original Mean Gene, even though we had one on this side, the original Mean Gene was there. And his younger brother was there too, which was the Grand Wizard Theodore.
Yeah.
So a lot of people realize that the L brothers really started, was really L for Livingston. Because they were the Livingston brothers. Because that's what Gene Livingston, Eugene Livingston, and his younger brother, you know, so again.
Congratulations, I see you're a champion now.
Yeah, well, you know what? I thank you for that. What I'm just trying to do is expand the history of what is skills. Because I look at you now, and you're looking good, bro.
I'm trying.
You see? Hey, and props to all those who are out there who love and care about us, because without your guys, we wouldn't be able to be here. But listen, I'm going to let you run because...
Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. So, again, this is Jimmy Blake Montalvo, and Blake was always one of the coolest freaking dudes. And so, just so you know, one of the few real deal supporters of when I started my karate.
Yes.
He never dissed me.
No.
Others laughed at me. They call me Karate Fever Boy. That was freaking Freddie and Carly.
Matter of fact, it was his mother and this guy named Ace.
Yep. Ace with the goatee.
There you go. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
Roxy's Mansion, 974 Sheridan.
Ain't nobody over there.
Nope, not right now.
Ain't nobody over there anyway.
What the hell? They cleaned up, they even got rid of the corner store, right? Holy smokes.
After that, yeah.
Wow. Anyway,
good to see you.
Hey,
buddy.
God bless. And Happy Mother's Day. All you guys watching, Happy Mother's Day too. And we appreciate that. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna walk down the block, guys, because I think we're gonna watch. Yes, sir. I'm not gonna hurt anybody.
No, you be careful.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, they think I'm a cop.
Strong.
You know,
that, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Hey, so there it is, man. Jimmy, love you, bro. So, man, I'm so excited, guys, again, because here it is. Look, May 9th to the May 19th is actually Bronx Week. See that right there, guys? So what I mean is this. You see the Walk of Fame? Malik Yoba. Wow, we didn't even know that. Judy Reyes, I'm not sure who that is. So Malik Yoba from New York Undercover, which they're getting ready to do that again. So that block, you see, Bronx Walk of Fame. Now, my goal is to get into the Bronx Walk of Fame. If you go down there, Dr. Roof actually has one. Let me put my headphones on, guys. Give me a second. I'm crossing the Concourse, which is a pretty dangerous street to walk. And what I'm gonna do right now is put my headphones back on. You know, there's been a lot of love from the Bronx throughout the years, a lot of talent, a lot of misconceptions too. Okay, bear with me. So that was Jimmy Blake, who actually got a job from an angel, my brother. So he ended up being the doorman. So I guess he's been there almost 2 years, which is incredible. Thank God. But here you go. The Bronx Supreme Court. I'm gonna walk around and then go down the stairs so you guys can see how this has been seen in New York Undercover, a whole bunch of movies. You know, right here in the Boogie Down Bronx. There's the world famous Grand Concourse, or infamous in some areas. But there you got the plaza. Not the plaza in Manhattan, but the plaza in the Bronx, Concourse Plaza. And here we go. Now, Yankee Stadium. You see it at the distance, guys? That's Yankee Stadium. That's the Grand Concourse. Walk of Fame in the Bronx. And there's the famous Bronx Supreme Courthouse. Again, right across the street, you see the big statue. That was where the movie Serpico, where Al Pacino was done. See the statue here? We used to climb to the top of that, and then they didn't figure out, and then it was hard to come down. So here's the steps. See, guys? These are the steps that you see many times people in movies run down these steps, plus TV shows, right? So you guys recognize this? And from here, if you look just over, it's the new Yankee Stadium. Concourse Plaza, Supreme Court, Jerry Fontanez, and I'm going to be walking my way down towards where I started teaching martial arts lessons in the 161st and Park Avenue, which is where my mother still lives. And I'm going to go upstairs, but there's going to be inserts or excerpts of this will be used towards a documentary. If your life is worth living, it's worth recording, guys. I highly suggest you start documenting some of your things for your grandchildren and generations to come. Somebody has to be the patriarch of your family, and it should be you. Now, most of you that are watching are martial artists, so all I can say is that chances are you changed the history of your family, like I did, where you might have been the first black belt in your family, but not the last one. And what's interesting about black belt excellence is that, if you had a doctor or lawyer representing you, wouldn't you like to have them also be a black belt, meaning that they will fight for your right to stay alive or to get market share or what have you? I'm 53 years young, guys. I'm appreciative that I'm still alive. I'm here in the Boogie Down Bronx. If you rewind this Facebook Live, you're gonna see a lot of information. Got quite a few people that are still watching worldwide. I appreciate that. But I'm wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day. And those fathers out there who are single dads, happy Mother's Day to you too. Because you're the ones that are nurturing those children the way it should be. Because that's the way they grow, out of love, right? Little updates. Long-term plan that we have is March of next year. We have the Barclays Center for Martial Arts Tournament, and we're going to be meeting with them next week to go over some particulars. This thing that's happening is the impossible. Again, those are the courts. It's the impossible because it hasn't been done in a long time, but Great Grandmaster Aaron Banks gave me the blueprint of how to get mainstream media, so look out for some of that, some of the stories that come out. Because you guys know, just about every problem that a child has when it comes to ADD, ADHD, being bullied, child obesity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we can help people with those, right? So I'm on a mission for people to start knowing where to go when it comes to helping their children, and I mean children of all ages, get away, I should say, learn how to deal with their circumstances. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it around so you're gonna see the family court right there behind me. And then that building over there with all the windows actually happens to be where the majority of the time something happens in the Bronx, the news trucks are always out here. And that's where my cousin actually works at, the one I just dropped off. So I think I'm gonna end it in a few seconds by showing you guys what would be, that was the first that I saw in the area, so-called mall. Behind there is a Concourse Village with those big high-rise buildings. Over here, family court, and that's the County Hall of Justice right there. But the neighborhood is changing, and it's changing for the better in some cases. In other cases, people can be losing their homes because this is prime real estate close to Midtown Manhattan, and also a whole bunch of people working here. I'm gonna show you guys just two more things and then we'll be done. But us, it's all about us. All of us working collectively to take things to a whole other level. Martial artists found their passions, and if you learn how to become a black belt in business, you'll be able to take care of your family with your passion. I highly always promote that because there's so many people that are great martial artists that are struggling when you can really be a local leader and help people make better decisions just to get home safe, stay healthy. At 53, I'm still competing because I want to lead by example. I lost quite a bit of weight, gained quite a bit of muscle, and I'm in the process, and I challenge you guys to do the same thing. Worst case, you stay alive and you enjoy yourself. But this is the place, Starbucks. So once you know there's a Starbucks in your neighborhood, that means that the neighborhood has changed. And yes, 161st, at a distance, you see that building right there that I'm pointing to, right there. That's where I used to teach martial arts, and I'm gonna be going there in a few minutes. Not to teach, but go home to mom's house. On that note, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'm working on my jerryfontanez.com website. So if you go there, 2 days from now, you start seeing some of the things that I'm talking about. So people be on the same page. God bless, best wishes. Happy Mother's Day again AB, see you at the top. Thank you.